Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I'm actually very excited today. So if you're just seeing me for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Acing, and here I share insights on education, career advancement and personal development. Today on career advancement, I want to give you guys insights into what funding organizations want in order to give out scholarships. So if you're interested in applying to graduate school and you know that you need funding, this video is for you. You need to watch it. So do stay tuned and don't go away. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I encourage you to do so now, like now, while watching this video now, because I know you're going to learn so much from my channel. Okay, you don't want to miss this. Okay, so there are so many funding organizations out there, and I was able to research, go to their website and extract the requirements they normally want in order to give out scholarships. So some requirements are mandatory and they cut across all kinds of scholarships, while other requirements are basically scholarship specific requirements. So what I'm going to do is to divide this video into two. I'm going to share the first one are the mandatory requirement that cuts across all kinds of funding opportunities, and I'm going to give you the scholarship specific requirements in the latter part of this video, so you don't want to miss this at all. Most funding organizations will ask you to write essays, topic related essays. They'll give you the topics, they'll give you the questions, and they'll ask you to write about it. It could be about leadership, about networking. For instance, Chevening Scholarship asks you 4 standard essays about leadership, about networking, about your career plan, and why you should be sponsored. I think Commonwealth Scholarship has like if not 12 essays, but I don't want to scare you. But just know that most scholarship organizations will ask topic related essays and they'll ask you to write, and it's always within specific word limit. So just get ready, buckle up. If you want to apply for certain scholarships, I think you should start researching what are the kind of questions they ask, what are the essays I'll be required to write, so that you can start preparing the draft, and as time goes on, as you review your documents, your essays, you'll get better at them. Some scholarship organizations require that you have a certain number of years of work experience. For instance, I'll still use Chevening. Chevening requires that you have 2 years work experience. The 2 years work experience is calculated 40 hours per week. If you have 40 hours work experience per week for 52 years, that's 1 year work experience. And if you have it for a second time, that is 2 years work experience. It need not actually be a paid employment. It need not be a paid job. You could still use your volunteering experience. For Nigerians, you could use your NYSC experience. As long as you have put in work for up to 8 hours a day, which results in 40 hours a week for 52 weeks in a year, and you do that for 2 years, that is going to be enough for the 2 years work experience. So not all organizations require work experience, but some, like Chevening, do. Other scholarship organizations also restrict people based on their age. So there is always minimum age limits or maximum age limit, as the case may be. Some scholarships will say from 18 to 30, others will say from 25 to 35. But note that most scholarships are not open to people above the age of 35, except it is a PhD or doctoral degree funding. This particular one is so tricky. English language requirements, English language proficiency certificate. One would think that because I'm speaking English right now, that when I'm applying for funding, that they're not going to ask me to produce a certificate showing that I know how to speak English. Like, really? I'm actually speaking English right now, and English is actually the formal language of communication, official language of communication in Nigeria. But guys, they don't care. You have to write an English language test for some scholarships that demand it. Okay, they will actually tell you either to write a TOEFL or to write IELTS, or they'll just specify all the English language requirements or English language tests that they accept. And these tests are expensive, guys. These tests are expensive. So I think you should start keeping your money if you want to apply to scholarships like Chevening. I don't think Commonwealth asks for English language requirement, but Chevening does, and you have to write that test. And a couple of other scholarships, especially if you're going to UK, US, and Canada. They will ask you for English language proficiency certificate. Some scholarships as well as for publication, articles, journal articles, and all of that. Sometimes you can use your university undergraduate research or thesis project, as the case may be. Other times, if you've been publishing, if you've been writing on journals, writing articles, it could actually come in handy at this point, because when you write, they see your expression on your writing. They know how you think from your writing. So most scholarship organizations also require that you submit a publication or an article, as the case may be, while submitting your application. So guys, start writing. While some scholarship organizations do not mind whether you have applied to universities and yet to get your admission or not, other organizations actually demand that you have applied and you have been offered an admission. So let's take for instance, most school applications admissions window opens between June and December, but funding opportunities always come later, like from September upwards. So some scholarship organizations expect that by then you must have applied to school and you must have gotten the admission. Actually, if you are really interested in pursuing a postgraduate degree, you should be able to start applying to schools maybe from July of a particular year. If you're going to school next year, you should be able to apply to schools from July of this year, because most of the applications are open at that point. So some scholarships would demand that you show an unconditional letter of admission into a particular school before they can sponsor or fund you. And you know guys, why I'm saying that you should try and start applying to schools early is because you may be qualified to apply for a certain scholarship and you find out that simply because you don't have an admission letter, and you know this, sometimes schools take like up to a month to respond to you when you submit your application. So it's very dicey guys. You should try as much as possible to research on this if you want to apply to a particular scholarship, or if maybe you can gather like a list of 5 scholarships. I'm actually going to make different series of videos on scholarships, because I have a whole lot of scholarships I want to tell you guys about. There are so many opportunities out there that I think you should apply to for funding. And so in the meantime, I would advise that if you know that you want funding, you should try and start researching on the funding requirements, so that if you know that the ones you've identified need an offer of admission, you start now to apply so that it won't be too late. It is always very unfortunate that you have met every other requirement, but then you don't have an offer of admission at the deadline of the scholarship deadline. It's always very pathetic, and you don't want that for yourself, right? I don't want that for you. Yes, so this particular one is not all scholarship that want it, but some of the scholarship organizations in their website, when you're submitting your application, they'll ask you to upload your curriculum vitae. Of course, I'm going to do a video on how best to craft and to write your curriculum vitae. I'm definitely going to do a video on that, because I really care about you guys and I wouldn't miss that for anything. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel so that you won't miss my video on how best to write your curriculum vitae. I noticed that every time people see my curriculum vitae, they're always saying, oh, can you draft for me, can you prepare it for me, can you do it for me, can you do it for me? I'll start charging you. I think I should start charging on curriculum vitae review or resume review or something like that. So guys, you should get your curriculum vitae ready, because some scholarships need it. And you know what, it is not advisable to use one blunt CV for all applications. You should always tailor your CV to suit the kind of application you are submitting, or that they need it for, so that you would reflect their priorities while drafting your CV. You may not have to import things, but you just have to, there's a way you tailor, you express yourself to be able to fit their priorities. So CV is one of the requirements for funding opportunities. I've already talked about post-study plan. So while some organizations will demand that you write your post-study plan outrightly, others you could just put it included in your motivational essay. All right, so some scholarship organizations want to see that you are fond and passionate about volunteering. Volunteering is when you offer to work for people for free, something that you know that they would naturally have paid others to do. You offer to assist them for free because maybe you're passionate about that field, or you just want to use that platform to give back to your community. So Try as much as possible to get volunteering experience because it may come in handy some of these days. You know that scholarship organization, like for them to fund your studies is like them giving back to the society. So it will be so unfair for you who is not passionate about giving back to your community to now be sponsored. So guys, this is a trick. If you want to be sponsored, then you should learn to give back to your community, and most times you should learn to document these experiences because they will come in handy one of these days for you. I hope you've learned something from this video. If you're going to apply for funding, please try to get all these documents ready before the funding deadline or before the funding application opens, because it's going to save you so much time and energy, especially your reference letters and your transcripts. You don't want to miss a scholarship deadline simply because you did not notify your referees on time or you did not start your transcript process on time. No school is going to collapse any process simply because you're telling them, oh, I want to apply for scholarships and I'm running out of time. I'm sure they probably get like hundreds of such requests in a month or so, because so many students are applying. So don't think that they are going to break protocols for you. Start gathering your documents on time. Start doing all of that now. Because I've shared this information with you, I expect that you switch into action immediately so that you will not miss all the goodies and all the funding opportunities that you can grab just for you. I hope you've learned something from this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you've learned something, and share it to people you know that this video will help. And then share your experience in the comment section. Is there something that you think I've omitted? Have you applied for funding before? What were the specific requirements, and what are the general requirements you think I have forgotten to mention in this video? Kindly share your experience in the comment section so that we can all learn. Okay, so if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, you actually know what to do. Stop. Do that right now. Just click on that subscription button and that's fine. It's not going to cost you anything. I just want you to keep learning from my videos. So I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Till I come your way in my next video, do well to keep watching other videos and enjoy yourself. Bye guys. Bye.